Guys, I think it's time we finally talk about a topic that is trending in college basketball. Because this season is rapidly approaching, we are just weeks away from college basketball being officially back. And you might have been reading about your favorite school having something called a secret scrimmage. Now, secret scrimmages have gotten more attention over the years. Secret scrimmages, my goodness, everybody is talking about them, and they are no longer a secret. Now, they've been around for a while, and they really were never a secret to begin with because you would always read about what the scores were in the message boards or really just hearing news about it around campus. But things have changed, and the secret part of these scrimmages is no longer a thing. Even some of them are called super secret scrimmages, and even then, they're not a secret at all. So what exactly are secret scrimmages? Because they happen before the season, and sometimes you see two very high-profile schools go at it with one another, and then depending on that result, it might be talked about for the rest of the college basketball season, and everybody keeps it in the back of their mind because some of these scores and some of these matchups really are interesting. Interesting if you're a degenerate college basketball fan, and if you're watching this video, you more than likely are. I'm obviously making the video, so I 100% am, so welcome, and let's jump into what exactly secret scrimmages are. Well, the NCAA used to not allow coaches to discuss these scrimmages publicly, and they were actually closed off to the fans and the media. But now, you obviously get teams taking pictures or sharing footage from these scrimmages on social media, and I know for a fact you've definitely seen this, and it has just become less of a secret. Now, the NCAA allows college basketball teams to play 2 scrimmages or exhibition games before the season. Now, exhibitions, if you're familiar with those, they get played in front of fans that you can attend, and the teams wear their actual jerseys. They're not wearing practice jerseys, and it counts on the season ticket package. So that obviously helps with funding, and players get to play in front of fans, and it's really just an actual game. However, secret scrimmages are usually played against other high-profile Division I teams, or teams that you really match up with style-wise. And coaches are allowed to talk about them after the fact, but the restriction is that coaches can't publicize the next scheduled scrimmage in the process. I read this by Jeff Goodman when he worked at ESPN back in 2015. I don't know what the rules are still for the whole secret scrimmage process. It really has changed the past couple of years because of the fact that it's no longer really a secret. It's just fans can't always attend these. That's why it's a secret. And then you have scrimmages like this past weekend when Dayton hosted Ohio State in an event where fans were able to attend, but it was more of like a scrimmage because of the fact they weren't wearing their actual uniforms, they were wearing practice jerseys. But it's also tricky too because I'm pretty sure it counted on the season ticket package. I don't really understand the whole rules behind all of this. It's really changed the past couple of years, especially since COVID happened. So it's complicated kind of keeping up with it, but I hope that I've kind of explained a little bit of the process for you guys. There is a big difference between an exhibition game. Usually those are played against lower level Division I teams. Again, the whole process is changing because right now we're in the middle of exhibition and secret scrimmage time. It's a lot to keep up with. It's confusing to me too. But back to the point. Secret scrimmages, they're usually designed to match up 2 teams with similar strength, and lots of times these scrimmages, it's about testing your team and, playing different styles and trying out different things in a closed practice where nobody's watching and you can really just kind of focus in on the matchup. You don't have to worry about anything else, and obviously the games don't count. So usually coaches like to test something out they've been working on in fall now that the team has come back to campus for the school year. So whether that's like a zone or pressing, really could be anything. And a lot of the time these matchups are between 2 head coaches that are very familiar with each other, pretty friendly. They know that things won't get hostile or out of hand, and they'll be able to give each other good feedback too after the scrimmage because, they're not going to be playing against them during the regular season, and you're going to test your team against somebody that is very equal to you. So honestly, this is an important time because you don't have to worry about the outcome and honestly get good feedback from somebody that's not on your team. Now, we do see this in the NFL with something called joint practices where 2 teams practice against each other in training camp. I'm pretty sure this is really the only other sport that has something kind of like this. You don't really see this in college football. You don't see this in the NBA. You don't see this in the NHL. This is really the only kind of place you get this. Now, to explain how the game works, it really could just be whatever the 2 head coaches decide upon. It doesn't have to be a full 40-minute game. It could kind of be anything they really want it to be. Heck, they might just practice at each other's end for a half and then play an actual game. It really just depends on what the 2 head coaches want to do. Oftentimes, teams can just do quarters. Teams can just practice a couple of different types of scenarios. I've seen that happen, like baseline out of bound plays, sidelines out of bounds plays. You could even get special situation plays. You know, it's good practice, especially against a team that you are not familiar with. Options are endless because I don't think there's a set time limit that these secret scrimmages have to be. Things used to be different because I actually remember being a manager for a season that we went to a neutral site location and met kind of halfway with another school that we were playing against in a secret scrimmage, and we met at a completely different school, a neutral site. But you know, things have changed, and now we're seeing teams hosting games. We're seeing teams have an event out of this. We're seeing things like I said earlier, super secret scrimmage. I don't even know what that means still, but you know, that's there. And then we also have different types of outcomes with these games because you can have a team winning in a big fashion where it's going to probably shake up the rest of the season. It's going to get talked about as something that happened, even though it doesn't really count. But we've seen that happen. We've also seen, I just saw this past weekend, a game ended in a tie. I don't really know how that happened, but it did. John Rothstein reported that. So yeah, that's secret scrimmages. It really is a wild time in the sport, and it's only gotten more wild, especially with the rise of Trilly Donovan, a Twitter account, an anonymous user who has been posting all sorts of things college basketball related this offseason. And he knows everything that's happening everywhere, no matter what it is. And the secret scrimmages, that's something that he has gotten more attention with. And then you're seeing all sorts of people like John Rothstein or Jeff Goodman or Johnny Fanta or your school's favorite media person covering the results of these games. You get people pulling these scorecards out of trash cans at the arena. It really is its own secret society. And again, these matchups can be anything that ranges from two really high profile schools that are going to play each other. And you know, that result could be a big deal. And I remember 2 years ago, Purdue lost to Providence in a secret scrimmage. And I swear to God, that was brought up for the entire season, especially as Purdue was on their way to being the #1 team in college basketball for a little bit of a stretch during the season. I mean, people just kept bringing that up. Even if these results don't technically count, people still bring them up, and people still really like to make a big deal out of these. I mean, it's happened countless times, and even this year, a big one was North Carolina dominating Florida Atlantic, and I'm sure that's going to be brought up a lot for the rest of the regular season just because of how big of a result that was for both sides. So that's secret scrimmages for you guys. I mean, it really is a secret society, really isn't a secret anymore, and it's only gotten more publicity. And who knows, maybe these secret scrimmages more often will be held in front of fans. The NCAA is changing their rules. They change their rules every year. I mean, things have gotten just completely chaotic, you know, the transfer portal and stuff like that. So they've relaxed on a lot of their rules, and things are not as strict when it comes to what they want exactly for these secret scrimmages. But yeah, that's basically the gist of this. And I'm very excited for college basketball to be back. I hope you guys are very excited for it too. If you haven't already, please go follow me over on Twitter or X, whatever they call it now. I can't even keep up anymore. But yeah, go follow me over there because that's really where I talk about a lot of things sports, and especially college sports and college basketball, even more specifically. I'm sure that's probably appealing if you're watching this video. I am very active over there, so I would highly recommend following me over there. And make sure you hit that subscribe button for me on this video. I would greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to be posting more about college sports coming up soon. And definitely with college basketball being back, it's my favorite sport. There's nothing like it. It is the most chaotic sport there is. And it's just, you never know what you're going to get with college basketball. So I'm very excited that the sport is back. So thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.